Here on the Projects tab, we'll see every project that you make. Up in the Media tab, we'll see all the individual clips that you have ever used in iMovie across all your projects. So let's go back to the Project tab and click Create New. You'll see two options: Trailer option for just dragging clips into a template, and the Movie option for making your own movie. We will select this option now so we have more control of what our final video will look like. And this area is the timeline where we will be doing all of our editing. This area is called the bin. It'll store all media for your project. This area is the preview screen so we can monitor our movie. To get started, let's import our footage into iMovie. You can go to File, Import Media, press Command I, click Import Media in the bin, or drag and drop footage from Finder. Once the clips are in the bin, you can hover your mouse above a clip and it will scrub through it. To trim a clip, click on it and a yellow box will appear around it. Click and drag an end to bring it to the start or end of your needed section. Click the plus button that appears and it will drop down into your timeline. Alternatively, you can drag and drop or press E. To edit in the timeline, you can place clips in it and trim it like we did before. If you have multiple shots you want in a single clip, you can scrub through it using this line called the playhead to find where you need a cut. Then go to Modify, Split Clip, or use the keyboard shortcut Command B and then delete the unnecessary footage. If you delete a clip between two other clips, it will automatically shift the clips together. Command Z to undo anything. Now that we have multiple clips in our timeline, it gets harder to see everything. To see everything, you drag this slider to zoom in and out of the timeline. Command plus and Command minus will work as well. Shift and Z will bring all the clips into view. Say you have an interview or someone talking and you want to put some other video on top of them, also known as B-roll. You select your wanted clip in the bin and press Q to bring that clip above the first row of clips, or what is known as video track 1. If you want to insert footage in between two clips, you highlight your clip and press W. Just make sure your playhead is placed where you want the newly added clip to begin to play. You'll notice in the bin there are little orange lines appearing. Those lines indicate that the portion of your footage is already being used in the timeline. You'll see your B-roll may have some audio that you do not want to use, especially if you have someone talking already, so just select all the clips you don't want to have audio, right click, and detach audio. The videos will become separate audio tracks in green. You can then highlight them and delete. If you want the audio but just not as loud, you'll see a line running through the track. Click it and drag it up or down to raise or lower the audio level. You'll notice as you drag it up, some of the audio waveforms will turn yellow, and if you turn it up higher, it'll turn red. I like to set my main audio right before it turns red. If it's red, then it's too loud and will lessen the quality, also known as peaking. Now that we have a basic outline of your edit, let's add some flair. Go to the top and click Titles, and you'll see a bunch of templates for titles and lower thirds. You can preview them by hovering over them just like your footage. When you find one, just drag it onto your timeline where you want, double click it, and start entering your own text. If you want to modify it, make sure to highlight all your text and then you can click on the drop down menu, select your font from their collection, or you can go to the bottom and click on Show Fonts. It'll bring up other fonts you have on your computer, so you can do that if you want to use your own custom fonts. Make sure to highlight your text again, and you can change the font size, the alignment of your text, make it bold or italicized, and give it an outline. You can also click on the square to change the color from the color wheel. To change the speed of a clip, go to the top icon bar and click this speed dial. You can choose from the drop down menu to make your clip slower or faster. You can make a freeze frame or choose a custom speed. You can reverse the clip by checking this box. Now that we're almost done with editing this video, let's clean up the ending. If you go to the Transitions tab, I'm going to drag and drop the fade to black transition into my timeline. You can leave it as is or double click this little box and choose your own duration that you think will suit your video. You can do this with all the other transitions and place them between any other two clips. Now I want to make sure the audio doesn't abruptly stop, especially if it's in the middle of a song. So let's go to the end and you'll see a green circle appear. This is a crossfade that will slowly lower your volume, which is a good way for videos to end. As you click and drag this circle, it will adjust the rate of how slow or fast the fade will happen. You may want to make sure it matches with your video fading to black or any other transitions. Now if we go to the Backgrounds tab, you'll see maps and other colorful backgrounds. You can use the maps to show traveling from one place to another, and you can use the backgrounds for intro or outro titles, or you can even place pictures or other video on top of them. Now with any video on top of another video track, a new icon will appear. This is for video overlay settings. Click the icon and from the drop down menu you can choose cutaway, green or blue screen, split screen, or picture in picture. In cutaway you can play with the opacity and fade duration of the clip. If you're using a green screen or blue screen, it will take out the greens and blues in your video. In split screen, you can play with the placement of your clips. And in picture in picture, you can play with the size and position of your top clip. You can even give the top clip a transition, a border, a different border color, or even a shadow. Now that your story is all put together, maybe you've noticed that you need to fix some color or brightness. Highlight a clip and go to this color palette icon. Here you can play with the tone range of the image by adjusting the contrast and the shadows and or the brightness. The next slider is the color saturation, and the last slider is the white balance. Alternatively, you can click this color balance icon and automatically change color, white balance, and skin tone balance to match other clips. I personally like to adjust these settings my own so I can choose what I want. If you want to apply any settings to other clips, right click on the video and choose copy. Select the clips you want the adjustments copied to. Then go to edit and down to paste adjustments and choose what settings you want applied. With this crop icon you can crop your image to a close-up shot. Or you can use the Ken Burns effect to slowly zoom in or out of the image. On the right side you can use these buttons to rotate the image 90 degrees. Unfortunately, you cannot rotate it any other number of degrees, so make sure your frame is straight when you are shooting. The next icon is for image stabilization. Check this box and iMovie will analyze your video image to hopefully create a smoother and more stable image. The last icon is the filter icon. You can play with more artistic video filters to give your video a certain look, and you can give your audio certain filters if your video calls for it. So we are all done with the video and are now ready to share it. Let's go to File and Share. You can choose any of the options available. I personally choose File. Here I can give it a title, choose the format and the quality of the video. You'll see to the left how long the video will be and an estimation of the file size. If you choose to export the video via the YouTube or Vimeo option, you will have to log in and it will share it on those places. And that is how you use iMovie for beginners. I hope this covers just about everything in a short and simple way. If you made it this far for watching, thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe and like this video. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below and I'll do my best to answer them. And I hope this video was helpful to you and helped you create what you wanted to create. Until next time, see ya.